This week's podcast is a double whammy. I've got Geoff Coombes from Tour de Cure and Nathan Picklum, the man that nobody ever hears on a podcast, rocking up to have a chat. And the reason Nathan's here this week is because this is one of Nathan's babies. This has been a part of our brand for how long, Geoff?
Yeah, we're 15 years. So, yep.
You're 15 years. Yeah, and we've been there, I think, 10 or so. So let's rip in and hear the story of why.
Welcome to the Body Science Podcast. As always, the information contained in this podcast is for the information purposes only and is not designed to diagnose or be prescriptive to treat, prevent, or manage any injury, disease, or other health-related condition.
Welcome to Body Science HQ, the world of fit, happy, healthy. And on the end of it, we're going to talk about Tour de Cure, something very close to our heart here at Body Science. But the man that officially started it, Geoff, is that the correct way to put it?
Yep, one of the co-founders, that's correct.
One of the co-founders of Tour de Cure is here to talk to us about life, Tour de Cure. And Nathan's jumped on board on this one because, like I mentioned earlier, he's really passionate about this, us being involved with this charity. And, you know, we'll dig into a little bit deeper as to why that's as well. But Geoff, thanks for coming on, mate. Before we kick off, everyone knows the brand Tour de Cure, but do a lot of people know who you are? Like, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh, look, I'd love to say everyone knows us. I don't think that's the case, but appreciate the thought that maybe they do. Yeah, we've been around for a while. Personally, yeah, look, I started it with a couple other mates, 2007. Chance to give back. To be honest, at the time I don't have a relationship to cancer, you know, nothing personal and fortunately still don't. But at the time it was looking at how we could have an impact and help with an Australian health condition, and cancer jumped out as needing the most help. And there we are, you know, took it on.
And mate, why is it associated with cycling?
If I go all the way back, so what was I, 1996, fresh-faced out of high school, you know, had no real career purpose, decided to go traveling, and a buddy said he's going to ride across America, and I thought that sounded amazing. I hadn't been on a bike for 10 or 12 years, but we bought bikes in New York and decided we'd, you know, a little bit of camping equipment and a map saying go west, and we set off, and literally as clueless as that, you know, inhibitions to just take on a challenge as 25-year-olds do in those days. And 9 weeks later, realized I can ride a bike, lots of adventures, lots of great memories, an incredible experience seeing your country by bike, or seeing that country by bike, North America. And then a decade later, kind of the idea of seeing my own country. But I'd started doing things, as it turned out, all of them were kind of around cancer, shave your head, grow your mow. And I remember looking around for a bike riding tour group, and there was this one called Tour de Kids, and they had all the big executives, all the elite, you know, business execs and sporting personalities. And to be honest, it scared the shit out of me. So, you know, I was intimidated to put my hand up and try and register for it. And then, you know, had some good friends that we were getting into cycling, and we said, well, why don't we do our own? And that was it. You know, Sam, one of the co-founders, is an event guru. Gary, one of the co-founders, is, you know, marketing. I'm a bit of a jack of all trades. So combined our skills, rallied some good people together, and clueless in our first year, but we had a goal to try and raise $2 million in 4 years. 28 people in the first event, and we raised a little over 350,000, I think, and we're on our way.
That is amazing. Can we just step back to your trip to America where you thought, I'm just going to ride? Were you a corporate warrior that said, I've had enough of this, or were you just really drunk? Like, what makes you do that? Like,
both.
Yeah. Like, oh, gee,
I was working in hospitality, and, you know, studied when I left school, hated it, didn't know what I wanted to do, you know, probably still don't. Actually, no, I do now. But at the time it was just, you know, a sense of adventure. And the idea of riding, this buddy and I had talked about riding around the south of France, as you do. And then he said he's off and doing it. And I was like, not without me, you're not. So off we went. And literally within the first week, we met these two other guys, Mike Doolan and Mike Berg, and they were planned within an inch of their life. And, you know, a very chance meeting, but we hung out with them for the next 7 weeks, learnt everything you could. They were planned seriously within an inch of themselves, and it was amazing. So at the end of that, yeah, I can ride a bike long distances, and I can plan a route, and I can work out how to fix things when it gets broken. And that was it.
Man, I love it. Like Nathan and I were talking about charity the other day and where we sit and what we're doing and all those things. And he was telling me that you guys have raised like over $73 million or $80 million and funded like 550 researchers on cancer. Is that because Nathan's in marketing, mate? So he'll tell a good story to me. You know, like I've got to peel back a lot when him and I chat. We got to peel back a little bit occasionally and go, yeah, the 2 times multiplier is not right there. But
he's on the money though. That's it. I think we've just gone through 73 million in funds raised, 555 projects, and our pinnacle at all is that we want to fund scientific breakthroughs. And you're going to see it on Monday, but we're proud to announce we've just secured our 50th scientific breakthrough. So, peer reviewed, picking the best researchers, backing them to help us get towards these cancer cures. And 50 is hopefully just the tip of the iceberg.
Mate, I love
Geoff,
that.
you know how you said that, like Greg said, everybody knows the brand, everyone this. And I think like that connection of like what you've done there, what you've achieved, not just the monetary thing, but that all of the cases that you've had successful now. Realistically, for everything you've done, the brand's not out there that much to like people don't know how much you've actually done, right? Because when you say those figures and how much you've done and how many people you've touched over that many years, people you've helped out along the way, not a lot of people will be aware of the success that you guys have had.
Yeah, we don't beat our chest. We've never really taken. I look at some and every charity taking every opportunity, completely endorse. But we've never, we could publish so much more stuff and giving a check to this research facility and this project and this individual. I'd say if anything, we probably, we're missing a lot of opportunities. And considering that, 3 of the founders are all marketers, we probably don't market as well as we could, but equally that humility and the reason why we just go about doing it. We've had to take a step back and work out that we need to celebrate some of these milestones.
Absolutely.
And acknowledge it. For the first 50 million, it was like, right, it's taken us 10 years to get to 50. Right, it's going to take us 3 years to get to 100. Yeah. Throw in COVID, that changes that a little bit. We are, I think, just always pursuing what we can continue to do. But yeah, I think trying to be humble, but at the same time, it doesn't feel right to gloat or to brag.
But how did you find like COVID, like with charities, with things shutting down and
good question.
Businesses doing it tough and everything? Sorry if you had this down as one of your questions, Greg. But
no, it's a good one.
Just like with COVID,
really
I imagine it would be pretty difficult trying to get some leverage from people when people are doing it tough and people are in lockdown?
I think what we really picked up was that we're an event-based charity and a global pandemic was never on our horizon, and year-on-year growth through, creating these events that people wanted to take on and new corporate partners that were, passionate about engaging their organisation and their communities. We had this, trajectory that was amazing, and then a pandemic says stay indoors and don't sneeze on each other and you can't cross borders and everything else. So yeah, that absolutely knocked us for 6. But we went into a semi-hibernation. All of our team was stood down to 2 days a week from March to October last year. And then I guess with the courage to go on, like cancer hasn't stopped. If anything, cancer's probably gotten worse from the fact that the researchers weren't in the labs. The research projects got put on hold and therefore you lose the momentum of them. The big one, I think, is that people have stayed at home and not stayed on top of their health screening. Yeah. So when now their melanoma is more advanced, their breast cancer is at a different stage. And I think what we're going to see is some pretty tough stats of people who are dealing with a more advanced cancer as a result of COVID. Yeah. So we came out of lockdown in November, the backing of all our corporates. We had a calendar that was ridiculous, but our community rallied and we ended up pulling off 17 events, I think it is, rides and walks and gala between December and May. And I remember in December we were kind of forecasting what we hoped we'd raise, and we had a target of 6.7 million and we ended up with 13.4. So we literally doubled it. But I think the generosity of people and having some disposable, because they're not holidaying and all the rest, meant that there was a real generous spirit out there. But yeah, that was, again, the courage, though. I think that I'm really proud of the team and the board and everyone for committing to getting us back out there, learning how to live with COVID, learning how to deliver our events in a COVID-safe environment, and then, the support of our corporate partners and wider community to get behind us.
Mate, while we've got that option, who are some of these people supporting your charity? Let's shout out to them.
Yeah, look, we've got CommBank, Westpac and
Two
Suncorp.
banks? Nice. Three banks.
Three banks.
You're a champion.
Yeah, look, well, you know what it was, and that's the beauty of it, is that they realised that we're curing cancer.
Yeah,
It's not the corporate world of trying to one-up each other. All the programs that we deliver are very much around their people taking part and engaging their staff. We do a lot with Woolworths, Lexus, just started a program with Qantas. So, yeah, we're very lucky, and most of our partners have been with us, same as Nathan and I know each other for this long, 12, 13 years. And as we've looked to do more and grow, they've stayed involved and enabled us, which is why we're at 70 odd million.
And a lot of that fundraising is from people actually riding. Is that one of your key drivers?
So
how many cyclists do you need to change cancer? Like, where are we at numbers-wise there?
Well, it's funny you say that. So this last year we had just under 1,000 riders across our 6 cycling events, but we had over 5,000 walkers. So we've created some big walk partnerships, especially with the banks, because cycling's it's not easy to get into. It's not cheap. It certainly requires all the equipment, and you've got to have a certain mindset and be comfortable on public roads and so on. But the walks are a true leveler. Getting people to be healthy and active. Coming together on that one day. How many does it take to cure cancer? I don't know, mate. I think if I look at what COVID has enabled with money, getting the researchers to, really chase breakthroughs that quickly, that the scientists have got the intelligence. That cure is literally, it's in our grasp. It's when we can fund it, the concerted effort. I think it's hard to watch the amount of money that's gone into that, knowing that we could actually cure cancer if that same onus is put on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, Nathan here from Body Science, talking today to Geoff from Tour to Cure. Geoff, tell us a little bit about the best way we can go about donating.
Nate, everything's online these days, mate. If people want to jump on Tour to Cure, hit the donate button. Anything that people can give is going to help us getting closer to finding a cure for cancer.
Awesome.
Great cause. Jump on.
tourtocure.com.au.
One of the things I want to touch on there too, like Nathan's never mentioned the walking part of your charity before. He's always talked about Sharia GM jumping in and doing a ride, but he's never put his hand up to walk. So I'm just going to throw it out right now that Nathan's on the next walk. He's obviously got a little bit of rehab to do right now, but I think that's got him written all over it.
Now that I'm off the crutches, yeah, for sure.
You know what though? I'm working with a guy. There's a young guy called Jay Allen, who's the melanoma man. Jay's a great character, but Jay's setting up a walk to walk from Sydney to Canberra, and the first 3 days are Sydney down to Wollongong. So my challenge to you and Nath and your BSC community, come and join it. Come and take part.
I'd be there if Anna let us over the border, but I'm not going to go through that. But Nathan's got no excuse apart from a hip replacement. So
March next year, come on. Anna will let you go overseas.
Yep. We're there.
Yeah, done. Beautiful.
Done. We're on. Might even bring a lot of the team too, Nath.
Come on.
I think it would be a good thing. So what do we need to tell people about Tour to Cure? Like, what would you like? Obviously, we're a fitness community listening to this podcast. And is there anything you want us to tell our community that can help you and where you're going and what you're doing?
Look, I think for me, the big one is where, we do the same things. You're fit, healthy, happy. What is it? Fit?
Yeah, we're fit, happy, healthy. I was looking at that and you're fit, healthy, happy. And I was going to bring that at the end. I was going to say, Nate, we sat down one day and we said, look, we've got a purpose, we've got a vision, we've got a motto that used to be train, play, recover, but it's a little bit sporty. That's our sport roots. But we're very much in fitness now. And Nathan came in and said, oh, mate, I don't want to spend another cent on this, another minute on this. I've got it. It's fit, happy, healthy. I've gone, that's awesome.
I wonder where he got that from.
And we've been using it for a couple of years now.
Oh, look, and you guys, and I think the
I don't know if we borrowed it or not, but it's a beauty.
Our lawyer's not coming chasing, don't worry. I think the big piece, we want more people choosing healthy lifestyle choices.
Absolutely.
And your community is the epitome of that. Everything they do and their passion to do it, that's what's driving it. I think if we get more and more people taking up that opportunity to kind of make those 5% changes in their diet, the amount of exercise they do, I know I'm richer for being involved with a cause. And I think it gets to a point in your life when you go, what, I can give back. And for everyone that kind of looking at that, and I challenge you to find your cause, whatever it's going to be. And you guys are great supporters of many, many causes. And I hope that your listeners decide, okay, I want to learn a little bit. How do I put a part of that into my life? And like I said, we're all richer for it. But for us, we want the kids to learn about how to prevent cancer, and it is preventable. That's the thing. And there are people who are going to be shit out of luck and get dealt the cancer card, but 1 in 3 cancers are preventable. Yeah. And that's a stat that I think we need to really explore. So I was down at Manly this morning. thousands of people. And it was before 6 o'clock, the sun was just coming up, seeing everyone make those healthy choices to get out there and do a little bit of exercise. And you kind of wonder, what does it take to form a habit? And if we've been in lockdown now for 12 weeks, terrific. Is that moment of going 12 weeks of choosing to get up, choosing to go for a walk, choosing to take on a personal trainer or be involved in something that gets the heart going, that gets us off the couch, that gets us doing something? Where are we getting? How do we carry that momentum? We go into summer now and it's warmer and we're going to do it. What is it in March next year when the days are getting shorter and the weather's chilling off and, a glass of wine is the easy option at the end of the day, and then the next morning is tough. So I'd love to think that, has this COVID-19 being a bit of a catalyst to people making healthier choices. The next side, and for everyone, in your listening audience, stay on top of your health screening.
Love it.
Get a skin check, get regular with your doctor. A big one is understand your family history. If you have a family history of heart disease, of cancer, of mental health, any of those sorts of things, don't shy away from it. Don't put your head in the sand. That's the chance to get on the front foot. And what I've seen over the last 15 years is when you catch cancer early, your prognosis and your options for treatment are dramatically different to when you catch it at land.
Yeah.
That's one of our co-founders, her mum, her daughters started a charity, and her mum sadly didn't stay on top of her breast screening, and lo and behold, dealing with cancer, and it's metastasized, and it's been a bloody awful battle. But that's the part that just don't wait. Get on the front foot. Be a role model, especially for the parents. Be around for your kids. Be that role model. Your doctor is going to put you in. He's going to take your mind at ease, knowing that you've actually got a litmus test of where you are. Crack on.
Perfect. Great advice there. Hey, Nath, let's jump over to you for a sec, mate. What was the driver for you to bring Tour to Cure to Body Science?
Man, I don't. It was that long ago. My memory's not that good, but I can't remember how we first got hooked up. But I remember I was 100% after our first event, and Geoff invited Ash and I to actually on one of the first legs with the guys, set up a tent. I think we stopped at Wollongong maybe was the first stop. Would that be right, Geoff? Many moons ago.
Yeah, wow. Yep. That was 2011, I'm going to suggest.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, so our first stop was at Wollongong, and we pitched up a tent and, did all the rehydration things and everything else the day off. But I was really impressed that the night of we got to have a dinner with everyone involved, different people talking about their experience with cancer and everything else. Some of the stories that got told on that night, and just the stuff that Geoff and all the riders and everything do along the way. It's not just jump on your bike, go from A to B. It was every stop along the way. They actually stopped at schools and did all these education things, and forget which guy it was, Geoff, that does the little books, your little books for kids.
That was Gary. One of our founders. Yep.
Yeah, doing all the little books to get kids into thinking about this sort of thing. And from then on, I mean, you hear some of the stories on those nights, and you're just sitting there in tears, and all the feel good stories too, not just about ours, obviously all the feel good stories. And from then on in, we thought, you got to stick with this course.
Yeah, nice. And you have too. I congratulate you on. It's really easy during, we have some highs and lows at Body Science, and COVID hit us too, like everybody else, and you start to look around and go, what should we do? What can't we do? What can we do? And I just want to say the relationship that you two have built is something special. It's something that, Nathan, he puts his foot down around a lot of shit. At least that he doesn't, but he does. He throws his foot around. He's got a big foot too. But when it comes to this one, it's the first thing he pitches every time that he wants to be involved with. And I think if you spent a bit more time with him, mate, you could probably headlock him for a little bit extra. Like there's a bit more in that, I think.
I don't know. We've caught up a number of times, and generous to a fault. Always there to help. Which Nath, shout out, mate. Huge thanks. But getting him on an event has been a ball ache. Hard work. He's
just on a bike.
I am known for being dogged and not letting something go, and I'm almost thinking that he's in the hard basket. But
no, there's 5,117 people walking soon. It's up too. So
True.
that will definitely
Love it.
happen. That will definitely happen. So, mate, how do people get in contact with you, with the cause, with the vision and the mission? How do we do that?
Yeah, look, we're on all the socials. Tour to Cure AUS. Look
Is
up
that
the
one
web.
word? Tour de Cure, one word?
Tour to
Yep.
Cure AUS. Yep. Yeah, look, I think do a Google search. Hopefully we come up. Again, we're not great marketers, as we said. Look, I think if people want to get involved, one of the things that we love is helping people kind of understand how they can play a role. You know, people can volunteer with us if they want to walk, if they want to ride, if they just want to donate, if they want to become, part of a committee that we have. We have, close to 10,000 people taking part in our events every year. A number of gala events as well that, there's no lycra in sight, there's no sneakers, it's the highbrow, and those events are crazy, raising a couple of $1 million, wearing our, penguin suits and hearing again those amazing stories of where the impact of these dollars are going to be. So, we are a group that are very open, like to think that we're all like-minded, passionate, driven, high ambitions on being strong fundraisers and, leaving an impact. So yes, reach out, knock on the door, follow us, get involved. Everyone's welcome.
Mate, I love it. I love it.
Hi, Nathan from Body Science here. Been speaking to Geoff about getting involved in Tour de Cure. Obviously, not everyone can jump on a bike and ride from here to Melbourne. What's the easiest way from there, Geoff, if all of us can't jump on a bike? Any way we can get involved?
Yeah, of course, mate. We love it when people want to volunteer. Bring your skills, bring your resources. But the really exciting one, in March next year, from the 11th to the 19th, a good mate of ours, Jay Allen, is doing a big walk from Sydney to Canberra. He's doing 350 Ks, but we've got opportunities for people to come and do one day, 25 Ks, join us for 3 days, fully supported, doing 100 Ks from Sydney to Wollongong. Or if you're a little bit on you love your walking, come and join Jay for the 10 days.
So, Geoff, how do people get involved?
Go to the website, tourtocure.com.au.
Perfect. Get on board. Look, just stepping back into the brand a bit, who came up with, like you mentioned before, Tour to Kids was one of the concepts. I just want to step a little bit into those people that are thinking, should I jump on the web or not? And I've got millennials for kids, mate, so it's all about, what cow did the protein come out of? Like, what was the name of the cow? That's where we're at in our house, and Nathan's got that coming through his house at the moment too. So fundamentally, yellow branding. You know what? Lance Armstrong was big, doing everything that he did before we realised, he wasn't quite the guy that we thought he was. Livestrong was everywhere. Yeah.
I was doing triathlons, I was doing dragon boat racing, realised that cycling was my, something I was good at. And Lance was doing what I was doing. I remember when we sat back and we said, right, what's this thing going to be called? As you do, and 2006, looking on the internet, and I saw the name Tour de Cure, and, the name stuck with me, and nothing grabbed me, nothing else. And I think we then had a couple of friends in various agencies, and we threw them the challenge of, designing a logo for us. So the typeface and the O looks like a wheel, and the typeface is Tour de France, and Australia is the, obviously our space. And then, that was the one that stuck. And I really think there's a lot to the name, but almost to our detriment now, because people kind of look and you're pigeonholed as this cycling group. Now it's all about curing cancer and changing lives. So we're literally in the middle of looking at our brand positioning and understanding how do we become better known, become recognized by other people. And, yellow is Cancer Council and others. So I'm not saying we're going to change color, because I don't think we will, but equally that brand presence, it's served us incredibly well. And the heritage will always be cycling, but we're doing a lot more with a lot more events. Hey, Nathan, is there anything you want to throw in there at the end on behalf of Body Science or about the journey of the story?
Really proud of what Geoff Coombes done. Always been happy to be a part of it, and like a very, very tiny, small part of it. But as I said, once you hear the stories and the feel-good stories that the guys and the education they do around cancer, it's something that's been close to my heart ever since. So just really happy to be.
Geoff, I've got one last question for you, for the people out there that believe they can change the world. How hard is it to set a charity up, and is it a good idea to join one or start one?
God, I've been asked that question a number of times. Look, it's not easy. I won't lie. I wouldn't do it again. But I think over the years, so proud of what we've done and the people that have helped us. I think I would encourage people, if that's on your agenda, look for other charities that you might be able to add value to, and don't be shy to knock on their door and pose the idea of being a contributor to that charity. There's a lot of red tape. It's not easy, but equally I can't see myself having done anything else, and I'm in it for the long run. So if anyone's keen to learn about that, I have lots of people knock on the door, and I'm always excited to try and help shape their thoughts on what not to do. It's the mistakes that we made to try and help people not go down that path. But yeah, it's very rewarding, but a solid job.
Mate, I just want to say you're truly inspirational. My family's been touched by cancer, currently happening right now. Nathan's family's the same, happening right now. And it's people like you that let us go to sleep at night, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, look, I think the groups, and we're one of many groups that are kind of out there, and the support of the community to help us raise funds. Unfortunately, the government can't fund everything. The researchers, the only thing stopping them from unlocking these little secrets to the code is getting those right projects funded. So, let's keep doing what we do, and our partnership with you guys has been a significant play. So I think we should all look at the numbers that we've helped raise and, be pretty proud, but know that we can do more.
No, I appreciate it. For everyone out there, be fit, be healthy, be happy. That's the call of Tour de Cure. You've heard it from the man himself. Thanks for coming on board. It's really nice to be able to talk. Nath, thanks for coming on too. I know that you're in between meetings, medications and doctors right now, so it's been good to get you on. If anybody wants to find, it's tourdecure.com.au.
tourdecure.com.au.
Yep.
Knock on the door.
Check it out. Knock on the door. Obviously, Geoff just said he answers all emails personally, so feel free to send him one. He's got nothing better to do. And mate, thanks for coming on board. I've actually never met. It was really nice chatting with him, seeing you on TV. You're a rock star on TV, and it's good to see that certain celebrities and stations supporting that some of the stuff you do, because it is highly entertaining and you can get a good feel for what's going on.
Well, look, if you guys, I know you've got a huge supporter base, and some of those sporting stars, if they want to get involved, it's a little way that they can lend a little bit of their star power. But there's always opportunities, and we'd love to have them.
Well, throwing out to all the body science athletes, let's put a cycle team together.
Ring
Nathan. Mate, thanks for coming.
Come and join our Jay's melanoma skin cancer walk in March next year.
Well, we're there for sure. We can do that part. That's easy. But the bike part, that's DM Nathan, guys. Just get on board.
I think I owe you guys some lycra for that, don't I?
That's gold. That's gold. I'll just be there for the coffee, mate. I love the coffee. Thanks for coming on board. Anyone out there that truly has been thinking, what should I do with my life? What's my purpose? And there is nothing better than giving to others. Get on board. Thanks for coming on board, mate. Thanks for coming on board, Nath.
Beautiful.
Pleasure. Great to see you guys.
Thanks,
Keep healthy.
Beautiful.